Have you ever replayed a connection in your head and wondered how something that felt so close never turned into anything real? Not because it ended badly, not because of a fight, not even because someone walked away dramatically, but because nothing ever actually started. She was there, emotionally open, comfortable with you, easy to talk to, and yet somehow, you were never chosen. That's what makes these situations so confusing, because closeness feels like progress. When someone opens up to you, shares their thoughts, trusts you with their emotions, your mind assumes attraction must be building too. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people never talk about. Closeness and attraction are not the same thing. And confusing the two is how many men lose years in situations that never move forward. Let's slow this down, because this isn't about dating tactics. It's not about confidence tricks, and it's definitely not about saying the right thing. This is about understanding what was actually happening under the surface the entire time. At first, everything feels promising. She texts you easily, conversation flows, she opens up emotionally, she tells you about her day, her frustrations, sometimes even things she doesn't tell many people. You feel trusted, included, important. And naturally you think, if she feels this close to me, choosing me will come next. But that's the first misunderstanding, because emotional closeness answers one question: do I feel safe here? Attraction answers a completely different one: do I feel pulled forward? And those two questions don't always point in the same direction. Someone can feel calm around you without feeling drawn toward you. They can enjoy your presence without feeling any urgency to move closer. That's where the confusion begins, because from your side, it feels like something is building, but from her side, nothing is actually changing. Here's what was really happening. She felt emotionally regulated around you, calm, grounded, understood. You were familiar, and familiarity feels good, but familiarity doesn't create tension. It doesn't create uncertainty. It doesn't create that subtle emotional pull that makes someone lean forward instead of settling back. There was no edge, no moment where she wondered what might happen next, no emotional risk. Everything felt predictable. She knew you'd be there. She knew how you'd respond. She knew the dynamic wouldn't suddenly shift. And because of that, there was no movement. Not away, but not forward either. Just stillness. This is the part most men miss. When attraction is present, even comfort has tension in it. There's curiosity. There's emotional movement. There's a sense of something could change here. But when attraction is missing, comfort becomes a resting place, not a starting point. She comes to you for reassurance, not desire, for grounding, not excitement. You're the person she talks to when she needs clarity, not the person she feels drawn toward when she wants something more. And that distinction matters more than effort ever will. Now here's where things get painful, because when you sense the distance, your instinct is to close it. You become more available, more understanding, more patient. You listen better. You respond faster. You show consistency. And none of it works. Not because those things are wrong, but because they don't change the role you're already in. They confirm it. They tell her, this dynamic is stable. Nothing new is happening here. And attraction doesn't grow in stability alone. It responds to polarity, to contrast, to emotional movement that isn't guaranteed. Comfort avoids uncertainty. Attraction responds to it. Here's a subtle test most men never notice. At some point, you pull back slightly. Maybe unintentionally. Maybe because you felt tired. Maybe because you sensed something was off. And you wait. If attraction was present, that's when she would lean in. She'd ask questions, close the distance, shift the dynamic. But instead, nothing happens. She adjusts. She accepts the new level of attention and stays right there. That moment tells you everything. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. It shows you that her emotional state was never tied to you. You were present, but not essential. And that realization stings, because presence feels meaningful when you're the one offering it. But essential means something else. It means your absence would be felt. And when you stepped back and nothing shifted, that wasn't indifference. It was information. It showed you that the connection didn't depend on you the way you thought it did. Not because you lacked value, but because the role you were in never required risk from her. Now here's where clarity starts to replace confusion. She didn't lead you on. She didn't manipulate you. She wasn't playing games. She simply experienced you in a way that never activated desire. And once someone experiences you in a certain emotional role, they unconsciously protect that version of you. Not to hurt you, not to control you, but because change creates uncertainty. And uncertainty is exactly what attraction responds to. Comfort avoids it. So the more consistent you became, the safer everything felt, and the flatter it stayed. This is why trying harder never works in these situations. You can't turn closeness into choice by being more available. You can't turn safety into desire by being more patient. Those things don't shift polarity. They reinforce it. And when polarity is missing, nothing slowly builds. It doesn't explode. It doesn't crash. It just stays flat. This realization usually doesn't come with anger. It comes with quiet clarity. You stop replaying conversations. You stop searching for mistakes. You stop wondering what you could have done differently. Because you see something clearly for the first time. This wasn't about effort. It was about alignment. She felt close, but not compelled. And once you understand that distinction, something changes in how you move forward. You stop chasing emotional access and start valuing emotional impact. You stop confusing connection with attraction, and you stop waiting to be chosen in situations where you were never meant to be.